So I've got this, got some mitts on now just to give a bit of protection. So what we're going to do first is I'm going to undo. I mean, I could use a screwdriver now because it's all loose. It's not going to tear the thing to bits, is it? So just take these out, put them down there. And what I'm going to actually do is I'm actually just going to get a torch in there and just see what the acid levels are like, because like I said, I've not checked it before, well, I've not checked it for years, just put it on a trickle charge every now and then, and to be honest with you, it doesn't get used a lot, but we'll have a look. Right, so I did bring the torch with me. Okay, so I'm back here now, so I'm just checking these levels in here, and I've noticed, yeah, we might have to put a bit of acid in there. So that one wants acid, that wants acid. That's just below the plates. That's just below the plates, that's fine, that's just below the plates. Now I do have some battery acid, whether I've got enough or not, I don't know, but what this is going to increase the longevity of this battery. So what I'm going to do is carefully, in my light, and usually you don't need to put a lot in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to a bit, because I don't have a finite amount of battery acid, because it's a bit rare these days to get bloody battery acid. To try and buy it, it's a nightmare. What you usually have to do is take it to a garage and get them to top your acid up. Yeah, you can use distilled water, but if I've got some acid, let's use it. So I need to put a bit more in here. It's getting a bit low now. So that's above the cell. Give it a little shake like that, just make sure there's no air in there. So now what I'm looking at is getting the battery level. I want a bit more in there, and I've not got a lot left, but I might just have enough. I'd love to know where I can get some battery acid from, because it does come in handy. Just checking, I say, with my cataract, it's struggling a little bit. And anything's better. See what I mean about spillage? Just got to be really careful. Give it a clean. Remember, that's gone there, that's got acid on it. So just give it another little check. That little glass bottle that I was talking about before with the nozzle on, that was brilliant. You just pour it in and then it just stopped pouring when it got to the right level. So what have we got in there? A little bit more in there. Do the suits on in there, I think. Actually, let's take this nozzle off. Put it on there. That's better. So I'm just having, as I say, my cataract is struggling a bit, but as long as they're over the plates for now, I can, if I get any more acid, I can always top it up. Anyway, I'm quite happy with that at the moment. God, these LED torches are horrible. hate them, but we've got to live with what we've got. So let's stick that back on there like that. Not sure if this tube is acid friendly, but never mind. Right, screw that back on there. Now normally I would have used this before I topped it up. So what we're going to do is, I don't know if you can see on there, but you'll see there's a green, red and a bit in the middle. So if the density of the acid is strong, it's going to lift this float up higher, which means the level's going to be in the green area. If the acid's weak, it's going to allow the float to drop down more. A bit like salt and water. If you've got normal water, fresh water, things don't float as well. If you've got salt in the water, things float a bit higher, better on the surface. So it's the same, if you think of it that way, you're not too bad. So let's just stick this in here. This is how we used to do it. So my voltage was okay, so I'm just going to move this up to the end of the tube so it allows us to get in. So we put it in, we squeeze, then let go gently, and it should, and it didn't. Something not quite right there, but let's try again. What's going on there? Looks like a disaster. Might be there's not quite enough acid in the... yeah, I don't think there's enough acid in there. Anyway, that's a total failure. Yeah, I need some more acid in there. Didn't think there was enough in there, but I need a bit more acid, and the idea is that that will pop down, dip into the acid, you squeeze that, you let go slowly, it sucks the acid up, and then what happens is the acid comes in here, pushes up against the float, and if the acid density is good, it will be in the green. If it's in the white, probably wants charging. If it's in the red, it's very weak, the acid, so you could end up putting it on charge, and after you've put it on charge overnight, you check your voltage. If it's like 12.8% volts, leave it off charge for an hour, check the voltage again. If it's roughly about the same, or maybe drop to 12.7, then check your battery acid. If it goes in the green, your battery's fine. Yeah. Sadly, I don't have enough acid. I thought I would have had enough acid to top that up, but it's topped up enough to actually put this on a bit of a trickle charge. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to wash this out, make sure there's no remnants of acid in there. You just wash it in plain water, it's fine. Okay, back in a minute. We've done that. So basically that's how you would have tested batteries in the old days, using that type of unit, which is, this is the modern equivalent. Your turkey baster and your multimeter. So we're going to stick these covers back on now. Just loosen them on. I'll tighten them up with the special tool, which is basically a penny washer. And we're going to over tighten them with these. This screwdriver, don't want to moor the unit. Mind you, I can smell the acid in there, so something's going on. Give it a wipe down. Get me a special tool. Just give it a nip. 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 Right, okay, now we've done that. I know this battery's a good battery. Well, for now it is anyway. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to, even though I've put the acid in, it doesn't normally do much. I usually have to leave it for an hour or so. But let's check that. and the voltage is about the same, so 12.6, so that's great. So what I would probably do with that now is I would put that on charge. But for shits and giggles, while we've got it on here, we're going to try the electronic tester. Now the difference, I don't know if I've already said it, but the difference between this and that is this is quite basic, but it's a good quite basic. So it does voltage readings. You can use it to, if you connect to your battery when your engine's running, you can see if your alternator's working right. And this also, does this do 6 volt? Yeah, this does a 6 volt test as well, so this will do a drop test on a 6 volt battery. So it's pretty basic, but it's really simple and easy to use. This is a bit more to it. There's a little pamphlet that's in there, tells you about all the different programs that are on this. To be honest with you, a lot of it is probably just bullshit, but there's a few little bits and pieces that are there that I've not actually fully read on yet. So they may come out to be quite an interesting little setup, but we'll suss that out later. As I say, when I get the cataracts done, I'll be able to read such small print on there. I'll be able to read it a lot better when I get my cataracts done and my lens adjustment, as they call it. Right, so I'm going to stick this on the live. It's on the neg. So they've got 4 programs on here, so I'm just making sure that the unit is on standard, and then I'm just going to enter so it goes to program 4, and then when it goes to program 4 it'll do a short test using this electronic device. This unit will go from 12 to 24 volts, that is 6 to 12 volts, okay? So let's go. I'll just put that in there now, go. Right, it's telling me the battery's 100%, and if I go down to volts, it's 12.6 volts. Basically it's got 8 hours of, is it 8 hours I think, and saying it's got a 400 odd cranking amps. Yeah, so the ampage on this unit says it's 680. So the cranking amps has come down. Is it 680? Can't see fuck all without the. But even at 400 odd amps, it's still a good cranking ampage. But it's saying the condition of the battery is 100%. Okay, so let's take that off. As I say, if you buy yourself one of these, you can indulge in reading into the manual and basically finding out all the little bits and pieces it can do. But at the moment, we're just going to use this as a drop. So I'm going to stick this on here. Well, I'm not going to stick that on there because it's not a very nice place to put it, being a metal box. So we're going to slap that on there. I'm going to slap that on there. So now it's telling me I've got 12.8 amps on it, volts on this. Anyway, let's do a quick test. So we're well in the green if you look here. Now I've not even charged this up. So this is was running on my meter at 12.6 volts. It's well in the green on here. So we're going to do just do a drop test on it, see what happens to the needle. Wow, nothing wrong with that battery, is there? The needle went down and hardly went in the yellow. So just do master zoom, as one of my favourite people usually say. So we'll just stick that meter over there, if you can see it. Bloody awkward things using cameras. So I'm going to try it again, just watch that needle. Yeah, absolutely nothing wrong. with that at all. Zoom out. Nothing wrong with that at all. So yes, even though this come off, this was dead when it come off the car 4 years ago. It still is going strong. However, I do need to get some battery acid to give this a good life potential. Usually with batteries, if they don't get used a lot, you've got to look after them, give them a tickle every now and then to wake them up, because otherwise they'll die. But I say, being a seal battery as well, seal batteries are horrible because you just can't do fuck all with them. When they're dead, they're dead. Fortunately, this isn't one, and sometimes I've not done it myself, but sometimes I've heard people who've emptied the acid out of these unsealed batteries, flushed them out. I think it was, is it soda and water or something? Give them a flush out, then rinsed them a couple of times with normal ionised, deionised water. Deionised water. They've put fresh battery acid in, and the batteries sprung back to life and still performing a year, 2 years later. So price of lead batteries, yeah, you can go for it. Mind you, the prices these days, unless it's one of them stop-start batteries, which are notoriously expensive. I had one, a start vehicle, and it used to do my fricking head in. Yes, it did have a bypass switch, which was great until you turn the ignition off and then it reset back to normal again. I used to hate stop and start, and to me it just, no wonder the batteries are so expensive, because it just batters. Oops, what's that? Anyway, what a load of boring chat that is from an old fart. Anyway, I hope you found that interesting. Yeah, it's just a sign of the times with the modern kit now. But anyway, at least that one's topped off. If you look over there, you'll see that the Bandit is on the stand, ready to give it a once over for the MOT. Poor little Aprilia over there I've actually found some more information which I've made a note of. I'm not going to reveal bugger all yet until I go back on that, but it's going to be quite a few months, I would imagine, before I get back on the Aprilia, because I need to get that bugger sorted. I've got service work to do on that if I'm lucky enough and I feel okay to go away in June. So I need to get the service work done. Service work doesn't take too long. Yeah, it don't take too long. Service work, main priority is to get it MOT'd, and then I can just do my service work on it. And hopefully I can get away with my mate. Not been away for 2 years now on my bike. I'm missing it so much. Yeah, so we'll get away on that. And then after I'm happy with all, I've got a few little, I'm thinking of doing a couple of little mods on the Bandit, so I'll do that when I come back off holiday. It's not urgent at the moment. And then when I've done that, I want to concentrate on my RE, my 800 RE, because I've done some mods on that already, but I've got quite a few other mods on there.